Hey guys, my name is Tyler and we are back with another video, and today we are going to be doing not a Dragon Ball video, but a Marvel My Hero Academia crossover, and that is what if Spider-Man was in My Hero Academia. So I'm going to be making this there's going to be multiple parts to this series, so if you guys do like part 1 and want part 2, after, you see part 1, let me know in the comment section so I can get around to it a lot faster. Since Marvel and My Hero aren't actually in the same verse, obviously, and I kind of do know Spider-Man like how I know My Hero, so I think I've come up with a solid story to keep Peter Parker, and it's pretty convincing that he's in the My Hero Academia verse. So what we're saying here is Peter Parker and some of his villains and his Aunt May, Uncle Ben, stuff like that are going to be necessary for Peter Parker's origin. So we're going to start from there, and this is before Peter even has the powers. I know we might not get to a lot of action this part, but it will clarify some things on, Peter being an actual character and not just, fucking Spider-Man. So, hopefully you guys enjoy it, and let's get right into it. So in this timeline, Peter Parker is in the My Hero Academia universe, and he went to school with Deku and Bakugo. They were actually good friends when they were young, but Bakugo just became a dickhead over the years. And now Bakugo just bullies Deku along with Peter Parker, since both of these kids are now quirkless losers, and he tells them every day that they should go jump off the roof. One day, the teacher then announces that they're going to be going on a very expensive field trip to a very famous industry known as Oscorp, which, is run by Norman Osborn, one of the smartest people on the planet, and he is very intelligent, and, this is going to be an honor, and Peter is actually very excited because he is actually a fan of Norman Osborn. Now, you guys may be asking, why is he a fan of Norman Osborn? He's never met Harry Osborn. Well, Norman Osborn is a very famous name. Even if Peter didn't know who Harry was, he would have figured out who Norman Osborn is. And he is a big fan of science, and Norman Osborn is an expert in that industry. So Peter is actually very excited, maybe to even meet the man. When they get to the industry, what happens is Peter's taking pictures and actually happens to get bitten by a radioactive spider, which gives him superhuman abilities. The field trip would then go on as normal, with Peter coming home, arriving, and seeing Aunt May and Uncle Ben. And Uncle Ben and him are just really talking until Peter starts feeling, a little bit sick and feels like he's going to pass out. He then says to Aunt May that he doesn't want to eat dinner and that he's really, really, really tired. What would then happen is Aunt May and Uncle Ben would then tell him, well, okay, just go and take a nap and you'll probably feel better. And if you don't feel better by the morning, we'll let you stay home. Peter would then say, oh, it's okay, I'll probably feel better by the morning. He'd then say goodnight, and he would have his little spider nightmare like he did in the Raimi movies, and he would notice his body went through quite a transformation. He's actually ripped out instead of just being skinny and scrawny, and he's really confused on what happened. He changed so much within literally 24 hours. What would then happen is, like in the Raimi movies, he would run up the wall, filled with so much energy, and is actually feeling like today's going to be a pretty good day and not a boring one. He would then say goodbye to Aunt May and Uncle Ben, and he would head to school. The day seems pretty normal for him until he gets to period 5, which is his lunch period. He would then start to eat, and as Deku is walking up to him, getting ready to sit down with him, he actually slips and falls. However, Peter is able to react to this, catch him, and catch all the food with him, like how in Sam Raimi's movie, with Peter catching MJ and all of her food. Pretty much a recreation of that. Deku would then say, wow, you have great reflexes, and, thank you. Peter would then say, no problem. He's kind of a little bit freaked out because he never knew he could do this. Bakugo, shortly after witnessing this, would then say to Peter how, wow, who knew a quirkless body can have such reflexes like that? I'm actually kind of surprised. What would then happen is he would look at Deku and say, well, at least Peter can even do something. Wow, who knew a quirkless person actually outdid you, Deku, the nerd who writes all the notes about superheroes. And he knows damn well he'll never become a hero because he'll always be a failure. Then what would happen is Peter would get up from his chair because he's had enough of Bakugo's bullying over the past couple of years. And he would then say, a failure. It takes one to know one, since a bully will never become a hero, and he knows some people in UA will always be stronger than him, including All Might, and even other teachers, even other students. What would then happen is Bakugo would get infuriated and say, "No one will beat me. I will surpass All Might." Peter would then say, "I highly doubt that with your kind of attitude." What would then happen is Bakugo would actually swing at Peter, and Peter would easily dodge, and he would actually counteract with his own punch, actually damaging Bakugo. Bakugo taking damage from a quirkless person? Oh no, he's not going to take kindly to that. What would then happen is Bakugo starts getting a little bit pissed off. He would actually get ready to fire an explosion, but what would happen is Peter would actually run up to him and kick him in the mouth, just instantly knocking him down to the floor before he can even get his explosion off. Katsuki is pissed off at this point. Before he can even do anything, the principal and a couple of other teachers would then stop these two from fighting before any more chaos gets erupted, and they would be sent to the principal's office. Well, what happened is Bakugo was in the room in complete and utter silence, since he kind of got humiliated in front of the entire school. His mom would arrive at the door, picking him up early, smacking him in the head, and saying, thank you to the principal and that it will never happen again. And then what would happen is Uncle Ben would arrive to come pick Peter up. What would then happen is, as Uncle Ben is driving him, he would tell Peter about, with great power comes great responsibility, and he needs to start being more responsible, and he just needs to become a better person because he's changing. Peter then says, "No, you don't know what kind of change I'm experiencing." And, Uncle Ben is just thinking that this guy, he's just being a teenager, right? He doesn't know anything about the spider, etc. Just what Uncle Ben would usually think. And then Peter would then pull out the thing that he's actually not his dad and he can't tell him what to do. What would then happen is Uncle Ben would then say that he'll pick him up at 10 o'clock by the library, and Peter would then say fine. Peter would then walk out the car pretty much frustrated and angry, saying how Uncle Ben doesn't understand and blah blah blah. And then he would see a flyer on a pole. It's a way to win $3,000, and it's through a wrestling match. Peter then comes up with a conclusion. The fact that these new abilities were able to beat Bakugo, and these wrestlers are actually normal humans, he actually might have a chance of beating these guys. So he decides to make up his own costume called the Human Spider and joins the wrestling tournament. Peter, during this tournament, actually learns about his other abilities, such as climbing walls and actually dubbing his reacting ability as Spider Sense. So with this, Peter would win the tournament, he would go get his money, and then the robber would come, and since he didn't get his money, he's not going to help stop a robber, especially a robber with a gun. It's not his problem. What would then happen is, it would actually come to show later, it would actually bite Peter in the ass, that Uncle Ben was actually killed by this guy. What would then happen is Peter would then decide that he needs to become a hero and just protect the people, with great power comes great responsibility. I need to protect people. And he would actually decide to make a costume. He would then call himself Spider-Man and wear this new costume along with making these things called the web shooters. Peter then asks Aunt May if he can stay the day just relaxing, and she would actually not mind this. For one, Uncle Ben literally just died and wants to give Peter a break, and two, Peter has no absences. What would then happen is Peter would be spending the whole day training and getting stronger. Meanwhile, this happens, Deku gets saved by All Might, and he becomes the chosen one for all. However, what happens is, when Deku chases the sludge monster, what happens is Peter's Spider Sense actually catches this and goes after and sees what's going on, until by the time he arrives, All Might's already taken care of everything, and now Deku's training for one for all. What would then happen is the entrance exams will go as per normal, with Spider-Man being one of the top rankings up there. Spider-Man doesn't actually reveal himself yet, he's just having his mask on. Peter hasn't told Deku anything about his whole Spider-Man shtick, so he's keeping it a secret until, they get to UA and he'll explain everything to him. So that's going to be the end of part 1. What do you guys think of this what if? Let me know in the comment section below. If it's bad, let me know. I'll redo it, whatever. I'm sorry if this video took a long time. I do have a very sore throat and I am very sick, so hopefully you guys do enjoy this, and like, comment, and subscribe, share with your friends. I'm gonna be getting out of here. Peace out, guys. Bye. Also, I would like to give a quick shout out to all of you because I'm actually going to hit 1.5k, and hopefully this what if does become a banger and get me more subs. Hopefully we can reach 2k by next week. That would be crazy, guys. Hopefully we can get there. We'll see. Like, comment, and subscribe like I said before. Share with your friends. I'm gonna be finally getting out of here. Peace out, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, and goodbye.